Okay, so in this video we're going to be exporting the video that we've created in Blender. So let me get started by just opening up Blender and going back into our project. We have created a project, imported footage, and then trim that footage down to just the part that we want. So now that we have that, we just need to adjust some settings and then we're ready to export. So we've already adjusted our settings up here. We have the resolution correct, we have the frame rate. So just moving on down, and we have our start and end of our timeline all set. So if we move down a little bit to output, go ahead and click this folder icon. I'm going to select desktop and then my snowboarding video folder, and then choose the name of my file. So the name I want is snowboarding video _1_, and you'll see a little later why I add that second underscore there. Click accept. Keep scrolling down, leave everything the same, but change file format to FFmpeg video, and then twirl down encoding, and you want to make sure it's MPEG 4. Under video codec, H.264, output quality, I change it to high quality. Everything else is good. Twirl down audio, and for audio codec select AAC, and everything else is good. So now all you need to do with all those settings set is go up to the top where it says render, click on render and click render animation, and it'll pull up a new window. I like to just make that window small and then click view, frame all fit. I'm going to pause the recording and come back when this is done. You can see the progress at the bottom of Blender and on the icon as well. Okay, that just finished. So if we look in our folder now, we have this file, and there's one more step that needs to be done based on some tests I've done in the past, where the file that Blender spits out like sometimes doesn't play on some devices. Like on my iPhone one time it wouldn't play, so I'd take this extra step to transcode the file. So to do that we need a program, a free and open source program called Handbrake, and you can just search Handbrake download on Google, or go to handbrake.fr. I'm going to download the version for Mac. And it's a very small download, always free and open source video transcoder. And we're just going to run our file that Blender just gave us. We're going to run it through Handbrake one time, and then we'll be finished. So installing Handbrake is pretty easy. You just download this DMG file, and then once that file opens, it looks like this, and then we just drag that Handbrake icon into our applications folder. We can close the web browser. So now that we have Handbrake, I'll go ahead and open that up, and I'm done with Blender, so I'm going to close Blender. So once you open Handbrake, it's going to ask you what file you want to bring into it. I'm going to click this file that Blender just spit out. You see why I added that second underscore, because it adds the frame range to the end of the file. So I just wanted my version 1 to stand out from those numbers that automatically got added on to the end. So click open on your file, and then the settings, you have preset. I'll just leave it at fast 1080p, but we're going to tweak a few things. We'll start down here. It looks like it's already saving it to my snowboarding video folder, but if it wasn't, I'll just go to desktop, click snowboarding video, and click choose. And then I'm going to change the output name to this same file name _transcoded. So Now that that says transcoded, I'll know which file it is. Under dimensions, if you look here, 2704 by 1524 is our actual file size, but right now it's gonna put it at 1920 by 1080. We want to save it at that same file size, so under resolution limit, I'm gonna click none. And then resolution and scaling, right there where it says anamorphic, we want to go ahead and turn that off because we want to make sure the pixel aspect ratio stays 1:1. And then finally, under the video tab, I'm going to change peak frame rate to constant frame rate. And ours was 30 frames per second. It was actually 29.97 frames per second, so we'll just change it to that. And with all that, I'm going to go ahead and click start, and that'll take some time, so I'll pause the recording. Okay, so that just finished, so let's just check our folder. There's the file. And if we look at the size, we also notice that the transcoded file is about half as large as the file that Blender spit out, so that's good. And if I open it in QuickTime, we see we still have that 2704 by 1524 dimensions. And that's it. I've got the video file cut down to just the part that I wanted. It starts here. And it ends right here. So that's it. That's how you import, edit, trim one file, and export it out of Blender. In future videos, I'll go into more depth in Blender about other stuff you can do, like combining different clips together and other things like that. But that's it for this series and for this video. So if you made it this far, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.